Hi guys, this is Abel Anders of Yugatech, and in this episode we're going to share with you our full review of the new HTC 10. Let's go! The HTC 10 comes from a very long line of flagship devices with an undoubtedly beautiful DNA. The first of its kind is the HTC One M7, released way back in 2013. In those times, a full metal unibody design was a rare feature and HTC made the best looking one. Unlike the previous generations, the HTC 10 has the front panel completely covered with Gorilla Glass, which slightly curves toward the edges. A metal frame surrounds the glass panel that stretches all the way back in a unibody design. The dual front-facing speakers have been removed in favor of a more compact design. They redesigned boom sound with one of the speakers up top along with the front-facing camera and the second speaker at the bottom end beside the USB charging port. That means you have one front-firing speakers and one side-firing speakers that provide stereo sound that produce very loud output. The more compact body also means better one-handed use, while the thick, chamfered edges offer a more comfortable grip. Up at the front is a physical home button that also serves as a fingerprint sensor. The scanner is usually very fast and responsive, although the button itself is slightly recessed and there's basically nothing to really press in there. Flanking the home button are two capacitive buttons for back and recent apps with backlights. The volume control and power button are on the right side. The power button has ridges along the top for better grip and easy identification if you're not really looking at the device. The nano SIM card slot is just above it, while the micro SD card slot is on the opposite side, which, by the way, HTC claims can support up to 2 terabytes of expandable storage. Up top is a 3.5mm audio port in the middle of what could be a polycarbonate strip that is part of the antenna band. At the bottom end is the USB Type-C charging port, the secondary loudspeaker, and the microphone. The back panel is curved with two antenna bands running across the top and bottom corners. Another noise-cancelling mic is placed along the upper band. The rear camera is in the middle with a dual LED flash and a laser autofocus on the right side. Speaking of the chamfered edges, HTC went all out and peppered the HTC 10 with lots of them, large chunks all over the backside. We only have one concern, in that the finish is so slippery, we often find it very hard to hold and operate the device with one hand. Perhaps a simple gel case would fix this problem. The display uses a Quad HD Super LCD 5, which is HTC's usual display technology in its flagship devices. HTC packed 2560 by 1440 pixels in a 5.2-inch display, which resulted in a 565 ppi pixel density. At 5.2 inches, the display size is just about right for web browsing and watching videos. The display looks gorgeous and bright. Colors are accurate and icons seems to pop out or float on the crisp display. Having experienced HTC Sense UI from 5 years back, HTC actually pulled back in the customization, and the interface is as close to the vanilla flavor of Android as possible, yet retaining that signature look with the icons, widgets, and the overall layout. The rear camera has a 12 megapixel sensor. The sensor size is a little above average at 1/2.3 inches, but the 26mm wide-angle lens means you can pack in more into the frame. This is good for scenic or panoramic shots. Image quality is clean and crisp, color accuracy is spot on, and white balance is pretty close to neutral. Some photos may end a bit overexposed, especially in very well lit conditions, just like in high noon, which is an effect of the high f1.8 aperture. Autofocus is fast and accurate with pretty decent low light performance. The Pro mode offers some manual controls, but the exposure time is limited to just 2 seconds, which isn't enough if you want to take those really long exposure shots, just like the ones from the LG G4 and the LG V10, which can do up to 30 seconds. The HTC 10 is also the only smartphone that has a front-facing camera with a built-in optical image stabilization, which should make for clearer selfies and less shaky video calls or live streaming. The loudspeakers are placed up front just beside the front-facing camera. This is the same placement as the boom sound speakers of the previous HTC One devices. However, the second speaker is positioned at the bottom end beside the USB charging port. While the second one is no longer front-firing, both speakers are still really good and pretty loud. Powered by a Snapdragon 820 chip and 4GB of RAM, the HTC 10 is among the most powerful devices in the market today, only matched by the likes of the Galaxy S7, the LG G5, and the Xiaomi Mi 5 Pro. The device is very snappy and responsive, loads up apps very quickly, and can switch between dozens of apps with ease. Our benchmark test showed impressive numbers with Antutu scores exceeding 138,000. The score matches or slightly edges out the ones we got from the Galaxy S7 and the S7 Edge. However, there are times that the device becomes uncomfortably warm during normal use. With the 4GB of RAM, the HTC can chew up pretty much anything we threw at it. The UI feels smooth and snappy, apps load quite fast, and multitasking is a breeze. And the overall experience is just spot on. The HTC 10 came with a 3000 mAh lithium polymer battery, which is pretty much just average these days. Using our PC Mark battery life test, the HTC 10 managed to eke out 8 hours and 19 minutes on a single full charge at 50% brightness and 0% volume. And in our standard video loop test, the HTC 10 managed to last 9 hours and 45 minutes on the same full charge. With the Snapdragon chip, the Qualcomm's Quick Charge 3.0 is supported on the HTC 10, which allows the device to recharge in under 70 minutes. Unfortunately, wireless charging is not supported. The HTC 10 is without a doubt a beautifully crafted phone packaged with an impressive set of hardware. It's a looker, and we often get people very curious about it every time we fish it out of our pocket. Yet, we find ourselves wanting a little bit more, as if there's something lacking or missing. We have come to a time that having the best design and best hardware seem to be not enough. If there are few things it lacks to really go against the Galaxy S7, that would be the IP68 waterproof feature and the wireless charging. All things considered, the HTC 10 is one excellent flagship device. Handsome, well-rounded, and a real workhorse. We think it's a great alternative to the Galaxy S7. And that's it for our review of the HTC 10. Don't forget to hit the like button if you like this video, or consider subscribing to our channel for more videos like this. Once again, this is Abe of Yugatech, and see you in the next one.